We begin in Washington, where President Donald Trump signed a memorandum launching a federal plan to investigate, disrupt, and dismantle organized political violence and domestic terrorism. Speaking from the Oval Office, President Trump said the focus would be on the funders behind groups that promote political violence, claiming he personally knows some of them, though he was vague when he was asked to identify specific organizations or individuals. Now, officials said the plan involves multiple federal agencies, including the FBI's Joint Terrorism Task Force, the Department of Justice, and the Department of Treasury. During the signing, President Trump mentioned two major liberal donors, George Soros and Reid Hoffman, suggesting they could come under investigation, with Soros described as a likely candidate for scrutiny.
Well, Soros is a name certainly that I keep hearing. I don't know, but Soros is a name that I hear. I hear a lot of different names. I hear names of some pretty rich people that are radical left people. Maybe I hear about a guy named Reid Hoffman. Somebody's a pretty rich guy, I guess, and I hear about him. I don't know, maybe could be him, could be a lot of people. We hear the same names, but they're bad, and we're going to find out. And if they are funding these things, they're going to have some problems, because they're agitators and they're anarchists. These are anarchists.
The president characterized those responsible for political violence as professional anarchists and agitators who are financed by wealthy individuals. President Trump also added that their support often appears harmless in social settings, but millions of dollars are funneled to these groups.
These are anarchists and agitators, professional anarchists and agitators, and they get hired by wealthy people, some of whom I know, I guess probably know. You would know at dinner with them. Everything's nice, and then you find out that they funded millions of dollars to these lunatics.
The Soros Open Society Foundation issued a statement rejecting any connection to terrorism, responding to reports that the administration is preparing to investigate the organization. FBI Director Kash Patel said law enforcement will focus on following the money to uncover who, in fact, is financing these politically motivated groups. The memorandum signed by Trump states that political violence is not a series of isolated incidents, but a product of organized campaigns that use intimidation, radicalization, threats, and violence to silence opponents, influence policy, and prevent democratic processes from functioning properly. It also directs the National Joint Terrorism Task Force to coordinate a national strategy to investigate, prosecute, and disrupt these activities. The plan also involves the Treasury Department, the IRS, and other federal agencies. Attorney General Pam Bondi is tasked with submitting a list of organizations to be classified as domestic terrorist entities. The memorandum follows the September 10 killing of far-right activist Charlie Kirk, which Trump and his supporters have blamed on alleged left-wing network, despite early evidence suggesting the suspect acted alone. It also comes after a deadly attack at a U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement facility in Dallas that killed one detainee and injured two others, with a bullet from the attack inscribed with the message "anti-ICE." Now, President Trump tied the attack to the Democrats and their criticism of his immigration policies, though authorities said no evidence linked the suspect to any organized group. White House Deputy Chief of Staff Stephen Miller called the initiative historical and significant, saying it is the first all-of-government effort to dismantle left-wing terrorism.
This is the first time in American history that there is an all-of-government effort to dismantle left-wing terrorism, to dismantle Antifa, to dismantle the organizations that have been carrying out these acts of political violence and terrorism.
As agencies prepare to act on this plan to combat organized political violence, uncertainty remains about who, in fact, will be targeted, what the federal response will actually look like, and whether this sweeping approach will reshape domestic security and politics in America.
Firstpost now available in 9 languages on YouTube. English,
At $36 trillion.
French,
Le FMI, comme
German,
Geschäftsführenden Direktor,
Hindi,
$30 trillion ka karjo.
Indonesian,
Pemerintah tanpa pemeriksaan.
Italian,
Sekali radikali.
Japanese,
$1 mo.
Portuguese,
Por causa do próprio balanço patrimonial.
Spanish.
Beautiful bill.
Go to Settings, click on Audio Track and select a language of your choice. Be the first to know what's happening around you in your first language. Firstpost.